Hi guys, this is Lucid Layla, and I just wanted to do a little follow up with you about the cool dream that you just shared about all thought forms disappear, the command that kind of opens up the lucid dream to a new realm.
Hmm.
I know that in the past you've had astral traveling experiences as well, and I was kind of wondering what were some of the learnings that you had from the dream? What were some feelings or maybe theories that you confirmed, and how does it tie in with your whole lucid dreaming and astral projection experience?
Uh-huh. Okay. Interesting question. It didn't really confirm anything because it was such a new experience for me, but touching on the astral travel experience, I had an astral travel experience when I was 25, and that really opened up a lot of doors, not just for the astral world, but the dream world as well, because that could be used as a place to launch from. um, there's different techniques of doing the astral travel. That's like a whole different, conversation right there. But basically, I felt that the dream that you allowed me to share was there's a lot of layers there, and I don't feel that they are like layers. Okay, so you're in bed, you're in the dream world, so you're physically in the physical realm. You're in bed, in the dream realm, which is, I don't know, one step below, above, however you want to describe it. You're in the dream world, and once you hit the lucid button, then you're very aware, and that opens up a lot of other doors to, graciously travel wherever you want. But when I use that term, thought forms disappear, that really changed things, and I think that allowed me to advance, if you will, to a new realm. And I don't feel like these layers are on top of each other. They're not very like cookie cutter. I think they overlap quite a bit, and there's no really clear sign of which layer is which. You just need to be aware of your surroundings and, kind of where you are subconsciously in this realm. Um, the more dream travel experience you have, the easier it is to realize where you are. And I highly recommend a lot of the lucid dreaming practices. I feel that when people ask me how do I get lucid, it's not that easy. It basically it takes a lot of practice, a lot of intent, and I feel that intent and coming back to it and really practicing over and over is really the main thing that I like to teach. It's really important. You got to keep that dream journal by your bed, and that's going to basically, once you put your hand, once you start writing down your dream, that's basically channeling. That's completing the channel. And once you even like just physically go like that, and that's creating the intent to remember your dreams. And the more that you remember your dreams, the more you're aware you are of your dreams. And any lucid dreamer knows that the more aware of your dreams during your waking life, it transfers. The more aware of your dreams you are while you're dreaming. So it's very important to have these dream symbols. And I don't know if you could see, like behind me, this is, one of my pieces of artwork, but I wrote all over it lucid dreaming. And a lot of my other mirrors I have in my room, including my bathroom mirror, I write, "Are you dreaming?" So every time I go to wash my hands or use the restroom, I ask myself if I'm dreaming. I have tattoos on my thumbs. Every time I
Oh yeah,
look,
show the tattoos.
it's kind of hard to see, but it says "Am I dreaming?" on my thumbs. So every time I use my hands, which is quite often during the day, I ask myself if I'm dreaming, and usually I'm not, but sometimes I am. And it's kind of funny that when I started creating these dream symbols and these signs to remind me of my dreams, I tattooed this on my thumbs, thinking I'm going to ask myself if I'm dreaming every 5 minutes. And when I started dreaming, I would look at my hands in my dreams, and it kind of worked like the opposite way. I would see that my tattoos were not there, and I think I was so aware that my tattoos were there in waking life that I thought it was going to work in the dreams. But in the dreams, I would look at my hands and they would be tattoo free, and that would turn the light switch and say, okay, I must be dreaming, and that would, you go on from there. So I would say that the most important thing to remember while trying to practice lucid dreaming is to remind yourself what you want to do at night during the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
Um, I know that you're also into a lot of Eastern philosophies, meditation, and mindfulness, and you've been practicing that for quite a while now. How do you feel it has impacted your lucid dreaming experience and also your astral travel experience, if at all?
I'd say that the thing that helped the most in those practices is the meditation before bed. And as you know, we did about a year ago, we did about 4 or 5 months on dream incubation. And the most important thing is meditation before bed and creating that intent. And meditation before bed not only clears your mind of, daily things and everything that's on your mind during the day, it's basically kind of setting the groundwork and making space for the things that's going to happen at night. And dream incubation is one of my favorites. That was probably the favorite project. The experiment that we did is the blank paper incubation experiment. And there was a lot of things that led up to that. But yeah, very important, just creating the intent. And that's what meditation can do. I've also studied dream yoga, and that basically consisted of a lot of meditation and creating the intent for not only remembering your dreams, but you could be practicing things that you want to be better at in waking life. You could be practicing that in your dreams by creating the intent. And I mean, it only takes like 5 or 10 minutes of meditation before bed, and that's just kind of like setting that reset button, pressing that reset button, and making way for the things that are to come, and being aware of it. Lucid, it basically means aware. So you need to be lucid in your waking life as well as, your dream life.
Almost in a sense, the fact that all those thought forms disappeared, it is actually almost the culmination of dream yoga, right? You've gotten to that point where it's not only about having fun, flying, and eating endless chocolate cake in your dream. Um, I mean, you probably studied more about dream yoga than me. Maybe you want to share some insights, but from as much as I understand, it's really the Buddhists, they use dream yoga to realize that everything is just a thought form and everything is just projection, and we can actually influence things with our thoughts and our intentions, and we can manifest things, and we can awaken to the from the Maya, the illusion of materialism, and find that the real essence of things. And in the dreams, the real advanced Tibetan dream yoga practitioners, in the end, it's just a dream of light or something like that, where everything falls away and all the concepts and thought forms fall away. So in a sense, it reminds me almost of that concept of dream yoga. Maybe you want to share a little bit about that and how you feel about that.
Yeah, a lot of my research has showed that a lot of the Tibetan yogis learned from their gurus in their sleep. A lot of Buddhists practice lucid dreaming to meditate in their dreams. There's a lot of things that you can accomplish in your dreams that you can't in waking life. One of the advantages is working through scenarios without consequence. There's a lot of consequence in this waking life that we have, and you could do a lot of things in your sleep that don't have those consequences, and you still have the realization of going through the movements of that. Again, I highly recommend trying meditation in a dream. That was extremely outstanding. But touching back on the incubation thing, when you said you could do fantasies, you could do anything you want in a lucid dream, and I did that for years, and it was cool. It was fun and interesting, but I felt that there was more, and I went into this dream where I was in this neighborhood, and I became lucid. I was lucid right away. And the first thing that came to my mind is, okay, what do I want to do? And any other dream I would have like flown all over the city, or I would have gone somewhere magical or performed some kind of, fantasy. But this time I felt that I should relinquish all conscious will. And I basically said, okay, subconscious, like I'm here, I'm aware. What would you like to show me? And it was the first time where I really said, show me something that I want to see. And I started floating through the air, and I was in this neighborhood, and I came across this house, and it was light blue in color, and everything was blue about the house. It was very, there wasn't anything interesting about the house. And so I flew through the window of this house, and a lot of people know, or maybe they don't know, a house in a dream could represent the dreamer, the dreamer's mind, and the different rooms in the houses, depending on the room, are different aspects of the dreamer's mind. And so I felt that I was inside my own mind. But I was a little confused because there was nothing of interest in the house. No windows were open, all the doors were open, but the furniture was very plain. Everything was blue. So blue was like the theme. And as I'm floating through the house, I'm going through all the different rooms, and all the rooms were open. And I'm kind of thinking, this is kind of boring. What am I really doing here? I don't see anything of interest. And then I come to the center of the house, and there's this room, and the door's closed. And I'm thinking, okay, there's something behind this door, right? And I felt like there was an entity behind the door. And I was very excited. I was also scared, a little nervous. And so the door started opening, and like this hand came reaching out of the door, and it opened up its hand, and there was this blue crystal in the hand. And I grabbed it, and I felt like I achieved this blue crystal. It was magical, and I had this whirlwind of energy, almost like I advanced. It was kind of difficult to describe. And I went through the roof of the house, and I flew up through space, and I went all the way up, and I woke up feeling very accomplished. And I actually shared that dream with the dream circle the next month. And Adrian, one of my favorite dreamers, she is knowledgeable with crystals. And so the next dream circle, she brought me the same crystal that was in my dream. And you might not be able to see it here, but it's hanging above my bed. And that's the exact crystal, same shape, same color, same everything
What?
that was in the dream.
Oh my
Like I felt
god.
like I dreamt of that same crystal.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
have to get a picture of it. It's
Yeah.
because it's kind of unique, and I've been to crystal shops all over Laguna, everywhere, and I can't find anything like that. Books or anything, you find descriptions, but that is the exact stone. And so it's been above my bed ever since. I feel like it's really kind of guiding me in a way. But it was that dream where I realized, okay, you could do so much more with lucid dreaming other than fantasies and accomplishing, crazy tasks. Um, and it was that dream that really got me to go into the incubation experiment, where we incubated a blank piece of paper. And once you get to the point where you can incubate a blank piece of paper in your lucid dream, then you're basically telling your subconscious, write me a message. And I'm not going to go into detail, but we had some success with that. And we had some dreamers incubate a blank piece of paper, and what was written on those papers was beyond interesting. And I'm not going to go into it because some of them are personal to the dreamers, but it was pretty uncanny, some of the things that were written. And it's a little difficult to get to that point, but the incubation was very, very useful to create the intent to have something appear in your dreams, and then go to bed and have that item in your dream. And if we have time to tell another quick incubation dream, we fir-
Definitely, we have time.
we first started the first month. We wrote down an item that we wanted ourselves to dream. For instance, I picked a pumpkin, and this was like in the summertime. Um, And after meditating on a pumpkin, for a few nights, a pumpkin appeared in my dream and, success. So we went to the next step, and almost everybody had success with that one. So the next time we wrote down,
It also works with famous actors and actresses, by the way. Just saying.
just so you know. So the next step, we wrote items and we put them in a hat, and we had the dreamers pick an item, and I picked a motorhome. And at first, I was like,
remember that dream.
"Yeah, you remember the motorhome dream?" So I was like, "Motorhome, like that's kind of boring. What's gonna happen there?" And I wasn't discouraged, but I wasn't excited. But I needed to do it, right? Because I'm leading this experiment. And a few weeks into it, meditating on a motorhome before bed and creating the intent, which is the most important thing. And I even wrote in my dream journal, I would like to dream of a motorhome. It's just that easy. And writing that down is creating that intent. And so I would write that down. And after a while, went into a dream, and I was in a parking lot of this auto shop, and there's this motorhome, this old junky motorhome in the parking lot, and that triggered it. As soon as I saw that motorhome, that was the lucid button, and here I am in a lucid dream, and I have this motorhome, and I'm like, cool, man, it worked. That's gonna be great. What do I do with this motorhome? And so naturally, you want to get in a motorhome and see where it goes. So I get in it, I fire it up, it fires up. I see this long, dark, windy road going up this mountain. So naturally, I need to go up this mountain with this motorhome. And I put it in drive, and it wouldn't go. And I put it in a lower gear, and it wouldn't go. And I realized that the only gear that it worked was reverse. And here I am with this task of going up this windy road. So I needed to go in reverse. And it was pretty difficult. I couldn't see anything, but somehow I felt that I was being guided. And I made it up this road in reverse. And I'm not sure where it took me. That wasn't really the point. It's all about the journey anyway. And I woke up, I wrote it down, I was excited. And it kind of goes along with my personality and the way that I've really gotten anywhere in life. It's been very unconventional, and I'm kind of a very unconventional person, and I don't learn things the way that a lot of other people learn them, and I have a lot of trouble with a lot of things, but I always accomplish what I do, and it's usually the unconventional way. And I thought that dream was perfect because the road obviously represents your path in life. Windy road, the mountain is an obstacle, and what else is life than a windy road going up a mountain, I guess. And doing it in reverse to just kind of confirm that I could still go where I want. It's just going to be the unconventional way. And I thought that was a pretty cool dream and a cool message. And a lot of the other dreamers in that experiment experienced similar things. They would dream of their objects that somebody else wanted them to dream, but when that object appeared, that's their lucid button. They become lucid, and the dream that followed that point was really cool, really unique, and that really opened up the dream circle to do a lot of creative experiments like that.
A lot of times also when we share these dreams, it's you share a part of your personality, and I mean it's so intimate because obviously your dreams, it's your subconscious, and then everyone takes a shot at an interpretation of someone. It gets funny and really funky sometimes because some people are extremely off and some are maybe closer depending on how well you know each other and your values and where you're coming from. But it's always funny because then like he would share the dream and we'd be like, oh well, you go in reverse. Well, see, it's showing you like life doesn't go as expected, but it still goes. And I think it's just remarkable how our subconscious mind is always like surprising us, even if we're like sometimes lucid. There's like your mind comes up with the most ridiculous things to transform it just to make it odd in a dream, right?
I think the more ridiculous, the better, because you pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how dreams really get your attention. And a lot of people ask why they have nightmares. And a lot of them are really difficult to approach, but I think the nightmares are basically a message that you're not getting the first time. So you have repeat dreams and they become louder and louder. So these loud messages are something that you really need to pay attention to, especially when they're kind of ridiculous. You know, it's just something to get your attention. And if you're not getting the message the first time, it's going to give it to you to where it's going to evoke an emotional response. And that's why people don't really have the pleasant dreams sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost like your subconscious is packaging the dream in a very visual, like almost in your face way. But sometimes still people don't get it. Like a common thing would be you want to talk to someone in public and nothing's coming out of your mouth, and you're just like, like you want to say the words, and then I mean I don't know if it's true, but a lot of people say, oh, that means you don't feel like you can express yourself in real life, and really there's a lack of self-expression, and if you keep ignoring that and it builds up and it builds up, you know, the wanting to talk maybe turns into someone like putting a hand on your mouth and like kidnapping you and stuff like that. And then I guess it can get more murky and dark and bleak from there.
Yeah, I think one of the most common dreams is having your teeth fall out. You know, almost everybody's had that dream, but it can have different meanings. You know, for once, the teeth are the first thing you see when you smile. So that's a form of outward expression, and it could mean that you're a little self-conscious, you know, in public, not having that outward expression. Um, Teeth are also the first part of your digestive system, and a lot of people kind of put these together, but your teeth choose your food, and food in a dream could very easily represent knowledge that is presented to you. You nourish your body in waking life with food, and so you nourish your dream life or your dream body with food. And since you don't really have a physical dream body, it's easy to say that it represents knowledge. And depending on the type of food, the type of knowledge, whether it's useful, junk food, it's not useful. But if you have broken teeth, maybe that's saying that you're not assimilating knowledge that's presented to you in waking life, and you should maybe pay more attention to the things that are in front of you. So there's a lot of different meanings, but having your teeth fall out is, you know, kind of unnerving. So that's really going to get your attention. So I say the louder those messages are, the more important they are.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that gave us a really cool insight into just like how deep you can go. You see, like Nicky has been doing this for a while. He's really into it. I hope there's maybe some people of you out there who maybe weren't aware so much about what you can do with dreams and lucid dreams. And maybe, I mean, for me, it was Robert Wagner giving an interview on YouTube that just sparked my engagement. I was like, wow, there's more to it. Yeah, you love him too, right? So I hope maybe that was inspiring to some of you guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you liked it, or if you hated it, just put the dislike button. That's fine too. Leave some comments for Nicky if you have some follow-up questions for him. And yeah, subscribe to stay tuned for the next video. Until then, bye bye.
Thank you.